Alright, hello class. This is Will McBurney. I'm teaching one of the sections of 2110. I wanted to walk you through installing everything, and the first step to installation is installing the Java Development Kit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Java SE Development Kit. You can just Google Java JDK. It will take you to this website. You need to accept the license agreement and then select the correct option for your Java installation. So if you're using a Mac system, you're going to want this. If you're using a Windows system, most likely it's Windows 64. If you're not sure, assume it's Windows 64. If it doesn't work, try 86, but I think pretty much everyone's computer in here, I'd be surprised if any students have anything 32-bit. Now, once you go to download this, you are going to have to log in and provide some information. If you don't have a Java account yet, and you probably don't, you can create one. This is a free account, but the reason this is relevant is because this Java Development Kit you're going to download cannot be used for commercial products unless you become a subscriber. So you can use this for class free. You don't have to pay anything, but just understand that what you produce cannot be used for commercial reasons. So I'm going to log in, start the download, and then pick it up from there. All right, now that we have the Java JDK downloaded, we can simply click on it to install. Can take a while to go through this installation process, but it is pretty straightforward. You can mostly get through it by just continuing to hit the next button. If you want to change the install location, you can. I personally do not recommend it. We're simply going to install Java. This will take a bit, so just keep hitting the next button and waiting. That's pretty much all there is to it. We'll pick it up after Java is installed with installing Eclipse, which is the IDE or the development environment you're going to use. So now we're going to install Eclipse. You can do this by going to eclipse.org. Simply click download, and then from there, download Eclipse. From there, you may get asked for a donation. You are not required to give one by any means. Your decision if you want to. I remember being a college student, so I doubt many of you will, and that's completely fine, given that this is just an academic resource. Once we have Eclipse installed, we can run it. If you get an error when you try to run this Eclipse installer, or after you've installed it, if Eclipse won't start, that's likely an issue with your Java JDK, so you may want to re-download that and reinstall it. But it can take a while for, after you click this Eclipse, for the program to come up. So once you see this window, the installer is ready to go. We're going to pick Eclipse IDE for Java developers. From there, you can leave the default installation. Personally, that's what I recommend. As well as creating a start menu entry in the desktop shortcut. You're going to use this program a lot this semester, so I'd recommend it. The installation can take a bit. You'll get multiple license agreements that you need to accept during the installation. But otherwise, just keep accepting the license agreements and hitting the next button until the program is installed. Once you see this, you're ready to launch the system. So we're just going to launch. The first time that you open Eclipse, you're going to see this, select your workspace directory. For now, you can use the default directory, but understand that this is just where all your projects are going to be stored. You might want to have multiple workspaces for different classes, and you can do that by simply browsing and choosing, which folder you want to put it in, whether it's something in My Documents or whatever. I use the default workspace for now, so I'm just going to leave that as is. From here, we can launch. It'll take a bit to start the first time, but once it's here, I actually already have a project here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this project. Normally, you will get a welcome screen when you first, let me see if I can pull that up. Well, I can't pull up the welcome screen, but normally you'll see a welcome screen. There'll be a checkbox in the bottom right that says, show the screen every time, which is checked. You can turn that off. This is where you'll actually start once you're properly in Eclipse, once you close that welcome screen by clicking X on the tab at the top. From here, we're going to start by creating a Java project. Now, you could use this button right here. I'm going to choose not to because I want to show you the proper way that you're going to create Java projects in the future. So we go to File, New, File, New, and if I can keep my mouse steady, there we go, Java Project. And then from there, we need to give our project a name. I'm just going to call this Setup for now, just to get us started. Everything else you can leave as is. We're going to hit Finish. From there, inside of Setup, I'm going to right-click on Setup, do New, and Java Class, or Class here. Once I click Class, it's going to open up this screen. For now, all I need to worry about is this name field. I'm going to call this Hello World. We're simply going to write the Hello World program as a starting point here in Java. So simply type Hello World and hit Finish. From there, I still have this file here, and I don't want that at the moment, so I'm going to delete that. We'll bring it back up in a sec. From there, you won't get that file there. But notice in the default package I have hello-world.java. From there, I'm simply going to write my first program in Java. Hello World, you should note Java is a bit verbose, so you'll notice that I have a lot of precursor. This is just how we're going to start a Java program. In this case, with the name of the class, public class Hello World. And then this is a special function called main, and this is the function that runs when we run our program. And I'm simply going to write in main system.out.println in quotes hello world. From there, this is my first Java program. I'm going to test this by hitting run, and I should note that Eclipse will live compile your code, so this is going to be very useful as you'll catch syntax errors pretty much immediately. And you'll notice that down here in the bottom under this tab console, it says hello world. So Java appears to be working. The next thing I want to test to make sure it's working is I want to go in setup, I want to do new, and then I want to do JUnit test case. And once JUnit test case is open, by default, it's going to say new JUnit Jupyter test. It's very important that you don't use new JUnit Jupyter test. Instead, you use new JUnit test 4. From here, I'm just going to call this setup JUnit test. I'm simply going to leave this as is for the time being. So new JUnit test 4, you create a name, hit finish, and you will get a pop-up window that says, do you want to add JUnit 4 to the build path? You should now have JUnit there. If you don't, go ahead and let us know. You might have an error. You might have selected a new JUnit Jupyter test instead of new JUnit 4 test. But either way, if this works, if you get this JUnit file, it compiles, you're good to go and you're ready to start. Thank you for watching and best of luck this semester.